Nizzy, and in this video, you guys, we're going to be doing our game picks heading into NFL Week 4 here. Right real quick before we start off with the game picks, you guys, if you go ahead and like this video, if you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future, I've been getting a lot of support on the channel lately, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as many videos as possible here. But without further ado, you guys, let's start breaking down our game picks heading into Week 4 of the NFL season. It's been a crazy start to the year already. A lot of upsets, a lot of crazy last-second finishes to games last week. The NFL record 66-yard field goal by Justin Tucker, absolutely incredible to be able to make that and beat the Lions with no time left on the clock. Obviously, the Packers were able to kick a 51-yard field goal to win with time expiring as well against the San Francisco 49ers. So just a lot of crazy finishes last week, you guys. Expecting a little bit more of the same this week, but we'll go ahead and start off with Thursday Night Football. We got the Jaguars versus the Bangles here, you guys. This one should be an easy one for the Bengals to take home. It's on their home field. Jaguars are looking like an absolute mess this year. You got a rookie head coach in Urban Meyer, rookie quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, sorry. So I think they're going to keep it a little bit closer than what some people might expect. I think the Jaguars are going to compete. They seem to get a little bit better every week. They were up against Arizona last week for a little bit there before the second half, and then Arizona just took over the game. Ended up putting them down to rest there early in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to say Bengals 27 and Jaguars 24 here. I think it's going to be a close matchup, but I do think the Bengals are going to hang on to go to a 3-1 record, pushing the Jaguars to 0-4 on the season. Then we'll head over to our Sunday slot times, you guys. We got the Giants versus the Saints. Unfortunately for the Giants fans, you guys, I mean, it's been a rough go for them. They're 0-3 to start the season here. Saints were able to pull out a nice victory over the Patriots last week, move them up to 2-1 on the season. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to have enough to be able to win, especially I believe the Saints are going to be back home at Mercedes-Benz Superdome now after that Hurricane Ida. I believe they're allowed to go back and play there again. So you can expect that place to be hopping. I think that's going to give a little extra advantage for the Saints, being able to play on their home field for the first time this season. And then obviously, you know, that stout defense of the Saints is just going to be too much, I believe, for the Giants offense to handle. So I'm going to go 28-21 for the Saints, you guys. Then we got the Chiefs versus the Eagles. Now this one I expect a huge bounce back game from the Chiefs. Obviously they let one slip away on them there against the Chargers last week. First time we've seen them with a losing records under Patrick Mahomes. They're 1-2 on the season. Eagles had a really rough game on Monday night there against the Dallas Cowboys. Just got stomped. I do think they're going to bounce back a little bit. This one is on the Eagles' home field. I do think the Chiefs are going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a close matchup. Just the Chiefs have not had any blowouts. You know, in the last quite a few games now, they've had a lot of close calls, a lot of close games, no matter who they're playing against. So I do think the Chiefs will be able to hang on for the victory, but I think the Eagles are going to keep it close. I think the final score will be 30-27 for the Chiefs. And we got the Texans versus the Bills, you guys. I expect the Buffalo Bills to keep rolling hot here. They've had 2 weeks of outstanding offensive play. That defense have stepped up majorly, obviously allowing 0 points against Miami and then holding down, I think they only allowed 21 points to Washington. It was like 42-21 or something like that. So they've done a really nice job after that first week loss to the Steelers there. And then obviously with the Texans quarterback issues, Tyrod Taylor's out. David Mills looks okay, but nothing spectacular so far as a rookie quarterback. So I think the Bills are going to take this one handily on their home field by a score of 35-14. Then we'll head over to the Panthers versus the Cowboys, you guys. This one's going to be a nice, tight, close game here. Cowboys home field. Panthers are 3-0 on the season. Cowboys moved to 2-1 after the Monday Night Football win. Big win against the Chargers as well. So they've had a couple nice wins, and they were very close against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the opening week there. I think the Cowboys are going to keep it rolling, although I do think it will be a close game. Obviously, the Panthers got one of the better defenses in the league. Their offense looks pretty solid with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position. But I think the Cowboys are just going to be a little bit too much firepower and outmatch them. I think it'll be 24-21 for the Cowboys. Final score, you guys. Then we got the Browns versus the Vikings. This one I expect to be a close matchup. Two teams that are going to need a win here. The Vikings more desperate than the Browns, obviously. But if the Browns want to stay in contention for the top spot in their division, they're going to have to bring the heat against the Vikings team here. Kirk Cousins has been real good so far at the start of the season. These guys should not be 1-2. They should be 2-1, even 3-0. To be honest with you, the Vikings should be 3-0. They shouldn't have lost that OT game against the Bangles, and then they missed that 37-yarder against the Cardinals. So just two heartbreaking losses for them. There's very easily the Vikings could be 3-0 here to start the season. I have a feeling they're going to drop to 1-3, though. I just think they're not going to have quite enough firepower. I think it's going to be another streak of bad luck for them again against the Browns this Sunday, and I think the Browns are going to hang on for a 1-point victory at 28-27, the final. Then heading over to the Colts versus the Dolphins, you guys. I think the Dolphins are going to bounce back. I'm assuming Jacoby Brissett's starting. I believe Tua's on IR for a few more weeks with those fractured ribs. And the Colts have not looked very good at all this season. Carson Wentz is looking like Carson Wentz of old, just like when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles. The dude does not look like he's gotten much better, obviously. He was playing with 2 sprained ankles last week. Wasn't a great matchup for them. They ended up dropping to 0-3. And I'm going to say the Colts are going 0-4, you guys. I think the Dolphins are going to be able to pull this one out with some stout defense and a little bit of magic from Jacoby Brissett maybe later on in the game. So I think that final score is going to be 21-17 for the Dolphins. And then heading over to the Titans versus the Jets. I mean, this one's an easy one, you guys. Put your money on the Titans all day. This one should be a blowout for sure, even though it's on the Jets' home field. I mean, you'd like to see some improvement from the Jets, especially Zach Wilson and that offense. It's been just an abysmal start to the season for them. The Titans have got it rolling since that Week 1 loss. They've looked really good in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I just think it's going to be an absolute blowout. 30-14, I got the final score for the Titans. I just don't think the Jets are going to have enough to be able to keep up with that high caliber offense of the Tennessee Titans there, you guys. Then heading over to the Lions versus the Bears, little divisional matchup here. Perfect as a Packers fan, you guys, because one of them's got to lose, which is always good. But yeah, for this one, I really wasn't impressed with what I seen from the Bears last week. Matt Nagy just basically took Justin Fields and threw him under the bus and said, here, get run over by the defensive line of the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they didn't set him up for success whatsoever. I never really liked the coaching style of Matt Nagy. He did the same thing with Trubisky, because Trubisky has a lot of the same talents as Justin Fields, being able to move outside the pocket, throw on the run. He's got a little bit of good speed there as well. He can run with the ball pretty well. And they never utilized him either. Look where he's at now out in Buffalo, backing up Josh Allen. So yeah, if they start Justin Fields again this week, you guys, I think it's going to be another rough one for him. I don't expect a high-scoring game. I think the Lions are going to bounce back after just a terrible loss. It's not even their fault that they lost that one with the 66-yard field goal from Justin Tucker. Technically speaking, guys, he shouldn't have even kicked it because there should have been a delay of game penalty called. They ran the clock down and the play clock expired. They didn't call a penalty on it, which allowed them to set up that 66-yarder. So that should have been the Lions' victory right there. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But I think they're going to be able to bounce back with Jared Goff there and that offense and be able to take this game by a final score of 24-17 over the Chicago Bears. And then our final game in the morning slots on Sunday, you guys, we got Washington versus the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to keep it rolling here. Obviously, they were able to get their first victory of the season last weekend. I think they're going to be able to get that offense rolling a bit better on their home field. And I just don't really trust Washington's defense right now. They have not looked like the defense of last year throughout the first few weeks of the season. They've been allowing a lot of points. Haven't really had a problem with their offense. Their offense has looked pretty good with Taylor Heineke running the show there. But I do think Falcons are going to be able to hang on for the victory in this one, you guys, and the final score there being 28-24 for the Falcons. Then we're heading over to the afternoon games. We got some doozies here in the afternoon on this Sunday, you guys. Can't wait for some of these matchups. A couple division rivals going head-to-head here. First one of the day, we got the Cardinals versus the Rams to kick off the afternoon slate of games. This one's going to be a close, tight game. A lot of people might be shocked with my pick here, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals, you guys. I just think that pass rush with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones is going to be able to hit home a few times on Matt Stafford. I think they're going to be able to keep him under duress, maybe force a few interceptions on him. And I think that the Rams are going to be coming in a little bit, not super cocky, but just a little bit too much. Obviously, after beating the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers last weekend pretty handily. Cardinals have been in some dogfights. They've been in a lot of close games so far to start their season, even though they are 3-0. I just see a little bit of magic coming from Kyler Murray and that offense being able to take this one. Close game, though, but I do think the Cardinals are going to be able to take it by a final score of 30-28 to push them to 4-0 on the season. Then we got the Seahawks 49ers, you guys. This is almost a make-or-break spot right here for the Seahawks. I can't see them losing this game against the 49ers, even though it is at the 49ers home field. Obviously, the 49ers had a tough loss in the last seconds there. Mason Crosby is able to hit that 51-yarder after Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams connect a couple times to drive him down the field with 37 seconds left in the game. I think the Seahawks are going to bounce back from their tough loss against Minnesota last week. I think they're going to push the 49ers to 2-2 and be able to get to 2-2 themselves. It's pretty much they have to, right? If the Seahawks lose this game, their season's pretty well over. Just with the talent in that division, they got to win this game, and I just don't think they're going to allow themselves to lose this one and get away with a loss here against the 49ers. So I'm going to pick that one for the Seahawks as final score of 35-30. Then heading over Ravens and Broncos, you guys. This should be another good matchup. Obviously, the Broncos are undefeated. This is going to be their first true test of the season. The Ravens have beat the Chiefs already this year. They had a close one against Vegas in the first week of the season. Obviously, that miraculous 66-yard field goal to beat the Lions last week. But obviously, we're heading over to Mile High Stadium for the Broncos home game there. I think the Broncos are going to be able to continue on their trend and go 4-0 on the season. I think that defense is going to cause a little bit of trouble in the backfield for Lamar Jackson. I think those injury woes that the Ravens have been dealing with to start off their season are going to catch up to them a little bit here in this game. And I think the Broncos are going to be able to take this one by a final score of 30-24. And then we got our last game of the afternoon slot times, you guys, with the Steelers and the Packers. Now, this is a scary one for us Packers fans because this could be a big-time trap game. Obviously, we're coming off of good emotions, feeling good after that victory over San Francisco on Sunday Night Football last week, you guys. But the Steelers, they're kind of in the same position as the Seahawks. It's do or die time for them. If they fall to 1-3 on their season, it's pretty much over for them, especially in that division. They got teams like the Browns and the Ravens. Even the Bangles are doing a lot better right now. So they're going to be fighting and scrapping for their lives. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect, although I do think the Packers are going to be able to hang on for the victory at their home field there in Lambeau, and I think their final score will be 30-27 for the Packers. And then heading over to Sunday Night Football, we got the Bucs versus the Patriots. Tom Brady's homecoming to the Patriots home field there. Should be a good matchup. I think the Bucs are going to bounce back big time. I'm sure they're a little salty after that loss against the LA Rams on Sunday afternoon. Last week, you guys, the Patriots got beat up pretty bad by the Saints. Unfortunately for them, they're starting a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. And that Bucs defense is tenacious. The offense of theirs is going to step up big time. I assume Tom Brady's going to be playing really well, obviously being back in Foxborough for the first time since he left. So I expect them to win this one pretty handily by a final score of 35-21 for the Bucs. And then heading over to Monday Night Football, we got another awesome divisional game, you guys, with the Raiders and the Chargers. I think this one's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup. Close duel right to the end, but I do think the Chargers are on a bit of a roll here, and I think they're going to cut the Raiders' win streak short here. I think the Raiders are going to fall to 3-1, and the Chargers are going to jump up to 3-1 on the season with a final score of 33-28 for the Chargers. So that wraps up the game picks for Week 4, you guys. I'd love to get your guys' opinion in the comments section down below, who you think is going to be able to take the wins in these games here. Just give you guys my record, I guess, for last week. I forgot to add that one in at the beginning of the video, but we went 10-5 last week, so not too bad. Doubled up above 500 there, and then we're 27-18 overall record for the season here, so not too bad. We're about 9 games above 500. We'd like to keep that thing rolling here this weekend. We'll see how it turns up. I'd love to get your guys' opinion in the comment section down below, like I said before. Once again, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and every video on my channel. Please go ahead and like this video if you so choose. Subscribe to the channel if you so choose. And this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat.